Hello, hello, happy Wednesday. Sorry, I'm a few minutes late today. Hopefully you'll still find me. Sometimes if you're already in there and I go on, it doesn't tell you that I'm live. You have to go out and in. But of course you're not hearing that if you're looking. So hopefully you find me. Yeah, I'm getting texted now. And of course I must have forgotten to shut off my stuff. Hopefully that didn't cut things out. So today last week I had quickly shown once again, which I didn't get to, the Layered Landscapes kit, which is a new kit that was released beginning of November, I want to say. It's already almost December, and I hadn't really played with it yet, and I pulled it out, and then I got all these ideas, and it's funny because I'm late coming on because I started getting all these other ideas. Of course, I haven't had time to play with it. I'm going to show you how to put the kit together, but also I realized last week when I went to make it that I thought the mountain one, oh good, I'm glad you found me. I thought that there was a mountain one, and I didn't really notice that it wasn't wintry. It's quite a summery. I just saw the snow in the mountains, so I just assumed it was a nice wintry thing, and that's what I was going to put in my craft room for this winter. And then I realized there's flowers everywhere, which I love flowers, but it's not winter. So I came up with a way to change it. So I'm going to show you how you can change a few things within the kit to suit whatever you want it to suit. And then I'm going to show you a whole bunch of other options. Some of them are current, some of them are retired, but I'll just give you ideas of maybe things that you can do to create new landscapes with this kit kind of as you go along, because the frames are reusable, and maybe you're a person who just wants to make it and leave it as is, and that's okay. And maybe you're a person who likes to change it up depending on the season, depending on the holidays. As I was pulling stuff out, I was like, oh, I'm going to make 4, like one Christmassy one, and then the other ones are more wintry ones, but I will show you all that as we go. We have a bunch of releases for demonstrators. So if you're a demonstrator, there's the pre-order for the online exclusives. There's the pre-order for the new January to April mini catalog, plus the celebration items. So lots of stuff for demonstrators right now. I still haven't put my order in. I was hoping they were going to release, they usually release their updates on Tuesdays. So I was waiting till yesterday, hoping they were going to say there was a Black Friday sale coming up, but they didn't say anything about Friday. So I don't know if that means there is no Black Friday sale, because they did that quick sale last November 13th to the 15th. So I don't know if that was kind of their Black Friday sale, or if they will spring something on us last minute. So I was going to put my order in this morning, and I've just ran out of time. Anyways, enough about me. Hopefully you guys are finding lots of stuff. If you're demonstrators, you have found stuff that you like. I love this new mini catalog. I love the online. I hope they don't keep getting better and better, because it's getting ridiculous. Anyways, let's get turned around, because I have lots of stuff to show you, and we'll get started. I am not very well set up, because like I said, I was putzing around, pulling everything out, and then I realized it was 12 o'clock, which wasn't a good thing. Okay. And now I have to make sure that I pull this up on my computer so I can see comments, but also I have found, since I made myself a bigger area to work, I end up off camera. I can't remember. I don't know if it was my class or what it was the other day that I realized I was doing bad. Let me just close out of Facebook. and go back in. Find the live here. Should be right at the top. But, oh. Let me just close that up as you hear the the replay. Okay. All right. I've got comments. I've got video I can see. Of course, there's a bit of a delay, but hopefully, okay, I should leave that there because then I know I have from here to here and here to here. Okay, so the kit. As a reminder, or if you weren't here last week, this kit comes in a box. I don't know if I can show you. Let me just zoom out if I can for a second here. I can't zoom in, but I can zoom out. It's stuck. Oh, I'm gonna make you guys see. Oh, I'm gonna make you guys see sick doing this. Okay. So here is the box. It is like a cube. It's quite a bit larger than our usual kits. But it's because of the frames. So we've got all of our pieces and parts. We've got our dimensional strips, and then we just have the frames here. Oops, one more. So there's 3 frames, which I don't really need right now. So we'll take those out in a bit. It also comes with these, what do you call, mats? What's the mat of a, is that what it's called? I can't think of the word right now. I need my word girl. She's not watching. Okay. So I'm not sure if this is part of the frame or it was just in the kit. So we've got these strips. They're not like the dimensional little dots. And then there's a few adhesive dots. Oy vey's. And then I've learned something. So I had started putting the strips on here last video. And I thought, so if you go into the manual, it very specifically shows you where to put the strips. And not thinking very well, I was like, why would they put it so low down? Why wouldn't you bring it right up to the edge here? So I kind of did that. And if you see, I think they were very smart when they did this. And I think what was meant is for them all to line up so that they didn't get squished and it held very well. So you really get that dimension when you put it on. So unlike me, follow their instructions and it'll all be nicely lined up, or just keep that in mind and try and keep them kind of close to the same distance apart. Mats. Okay. And then it'll all hit really well instead of just sinking into the other piece and then not giving you that as much dimension. Now, this is the one I was talking about where I saw in the pictures there was mountains. I saw snow in the mountains. And it wasn't until I went to put this piece on that I went, wait a second, there's flowers blooming. This is summertime. I didn't want a summertime picture. I wanted a winter. I'm in Edmonton. We got probably a foot and a half of snow on Saturday. And it's not too, it's supposed to get cold this weekend, but it's not very cold and it's sunny and we have all that beautiful snow and I love it. Those of you who know me know I love the snow. Anyways, so I'm like, this is all wrong. This is summer, which this would be great in the summertime. I will for sure have this out in the summertime. It's beautiful in the summertime, but I wanted something in the winter. So I decided I needed to change it up. So that said, I'm going to change that up at the end because I'm going to go through and do the other ones first so you can see them. But what I did want to mention is, since I knew I wanted to change it up, when I added my strips, I am not going to take the backings off. I'm going to leave them like this because they're going to sit like this. And once you put them into the frame, so I'm going to put my mat here into my frame. And then once you slide these into here, and you put the backing on, if I can get it in here. I didn't open it up very well. Okay, come on. Come on. It's always harder on camera. Okay, so we're going to pretend that's in there properly. But you can see it sits, and it's not, unless you're like shaking them around, it's not going to go anywhere. So I'm going to leave them not stuck together so that I can change them up. Unless I have set scenes, like I think the Sedona one, I would probably put it together because I don't think you would change that up. But I just thought, to make it even more versatile, I'm not going to take the backings off, and I'm just going to leave them like that. You could use even just like the little glue dots, or you could use some kind of repositional adhesive if you wanted to make it stick a little bit, but I don't see why it needs to stick because it's just going to sit inside the frame. So I'm going to set this one aside because we're going to work on that one to make it wintry in a bit. But first, we're going to take this water one. So make sure this is in camera. We've got our big piece here, which nothing goes on. And then we've got the next big piece, which shows it has three sections. So the first section goes pretty much right on the bottom. So I went off of, I'm gonna put the matchy ones, not that they need to, but I thought maybe they squish better together and fit a little bit better. So you've got your first section, and then I'm going to do this top section, and then the other one will go in the middle. So it's a little bit down from the top, so I would say maybe like so. Like so, and then the middle one will go right in the middle. I need cardboard. Maybe. I mean, you could fill it. I'm not sure. I think once it's sitting there, though, it doesn't really matter. I'll show you. I'll close this one, and you can see how it sits once we get all the dimensionals on. So that's the first piece. Then we go to the next piece, which is this one. And once again, it has the three. So if you want to line them up, you can kind of put them side by side so you kind of have an idea of where to put them. So that one's on the bottom. Go on the top again. Which is looks about right, because if you look at the space there. Now, it doesn't have to be exact. If you are like super perfectionist and want it all just right, you could take out your ruler and space everything nicely, and then that way you know you know, if you space from here to here, you can measure each one and know your spacing. But I don't think it's that finicky. So we've got that one, and then we'll take the next one is this one. And then once again, we've got 2 on the bottom. And then we've got, it shows 1, oh, maybe I'll leave that one there for now because it's still an even number. 1 up here, so I'm going to assume it's about the same as this one. So we're going to line it up with this one. And then this one is not any kind of rules, so we'll just go across like that. Okay, and then for the last 2, how come it doesn't show? Did I do this wrong? Did I put extra pieces? No. What's going on? Do we not? Maybe they just get stuck down. I don't see why. Oh, I don't think I used that. I think I have an extra piece there. That's why I thought there was too many pieces. It's like, I've got an extra here. This one goes somewhere else. So this one must just go flat. So you could stick this one down if you wanted, but again, let's just see if we're to put it in the frame. And let's see if they have instructions on. So here's the mat. Oh, okay, so the mat, they say to put the dots. The dots must go on the inside, but then to me you would want to put it on the frame if they're on, but I don't think they would go on the frame. I'm guessing it looks like you put them in the centers here so it sticks to, but that doesn't make sense either because it's not going to stick to this, so it must be down, must be sticking it to the frame. Okay, and then you can put these in. Let me just look at the other frames to see if they have that piece of cardboard or if I'm making things up. Let's see. Another piece here. No, it just has the one piece. So if I am to put this in and close it, now you could put these pins as far down as, well, to a certain point, because otherwise it'll come out if you go flat against. But if you want it tighter, you can aim them down. But see, this one I pushed too far because then it can't sit. So yeah, it doesn't move. Like there's not too much room there as long as you push your pins down, and it's not going anywhere. So except for something's going awry here. My trees are not in the right place. I've done something wrong here. Hold on. See, maybe it is ideal just to put a wee bit of some kind of repositioning, temporary light, something. I'm not sure what happened to this. Oh, it must have got, well, how did it get lower? Or this was stuck on top. That's what it was. Oh, it was stuck on top of the other one. That's why. Okay. But once you get it in there properly and place it down, and then make sure that it's all sitting nicely, then you can put your, oops, I put it in sideways according to the, oh my goodness, I'm having issues here. Okay, it's all in there. Make sure this goes in the right way. Okay, so then I'm going to put this down tight on the highest part. And then kind of keep the rest about the same, because I don't want to, like, you can see how it starts pushing in. I don't want to push it in too much so that it still can, it gives it that room there. Okay, so there we go. Yeah, I can see how you would want to glue. You do want to glue your mats there so that there isn't that space. But other than that, beautiful. Okay, so that's number one. Then we've got this one. So this last piece must be, did I take it off of here maybe? 1, 2, they each have 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh yes. I stole it off that one. Okay, let's do the Sedona. I probably don't have to do this one. It's very similar to the other one. We'll do one more and then I'll show you the changing it up, because you know you only have to see this so many times to know. You probably only need to see it once, if that, seeing as there's nice instructions, although I did mess them up. So what I like to do is I like to mess it up and go rogue, and then you can learn from my mistakes, which to me is the best. Well, let's put, again, let's do this one up here, and then we'll go right in the middle. Kind of get an idea. I find it's easier to get the bottom and the top, because you can kind of line it up to the edges, and then the middle one can naturally just, you can eyeball where kind of the center is. So you've got that, and then we'll keep that over, and we'll turn this over because I'm guessing we'll line this up again. Yep. Now, you're probably thinking to yourself, if I make new ones, I won't have any strips left. You can use the outside for your strips. You can also, we do have our dimensional strips that are used for shaker cards and stuff. They're a bit narrower, but that doesn't matter. Narrow is okay. You could always double them up if you find them too narrow. But I don't think it's necessary. Or you can even use just regular dimensionals. Or another option is you could I don't think this is supposed to be even with it, but I'm gonna go close. What was I saying? You can use the dimensional sheets. What are they called? Dimensional. These foam adhesive sheets. They come in squares. So you could always use these if you have them. And you can cut them into 1/4 inch strips if you really wanted to make them all the same. It is possible. You like this one? Of course you like this one. This one would go very well in your house. And then we're gonna line these up again. This is a true Arizona decor. The reds and oranges, they're terracotta or whatever you want to call it. Desert kind of look. You know, you could actually, if you wanted to make something more that would, like if you wanted to go on a theme with your 4 frames and you wanted to make more deserts. I didn't pull, I'm on a winter kick here, but I'm just thinking as I'm doing this that you could use like the succulents we've had a couple succulent sets. We had that cactus one a little bit. We've had some very desert kind of Arizona sets, and if you have any of those, I don't think there's anything currently, but if you have some, you could make some more, or you could just add, although this does have the cactus, you could just add to it. Oops, if you didn't want to make a whole other scene, but I feel like you could make some more scenes with that desert look and feel. Okay, I think that's a little too high, so I'm just going to try and keep it as high as possible, so maybe it hits, but oops, it was a little too high. That's okay, nobody will ever see it. So again, like so simple, but so beautiful. Like I never thought, I see these kits and I'm like, oh, that looks so boring. You put it together and then what? But there's something satisfying about even just putting the dimension. Like they look pretty. Here, where's my last one that has no dimension on it? I mean, look how pretty it is without even popping it up. Like gorgeous. Then you pop it up and it's that much prettier. And then if you put it in a frame with the mat, uh-oh, oh no, huh? That's weird. It must have been put way too high. It was right on the edge. All these other ones are way lower. Huh. I might have to call Stampin' Up. That is a faulty frame. But I can still use it for now. Okay, so this is why you should make your kits and not leave them for years and then pull them out, because then you discover things like this. Okay, so then I'm gonna put that in there. I'm gonna make sure that it's all sitting, like look how pretty that is. Just put that down there. Oh no, I'm sad. That's too bad. Hopefully none of the other ones are like that. We will check them all as we go, but there. Isn't that pretty? Oh, so pretty. Okay, let me set that one aside, and I'm going to put these pieces aside. So what I normally do with staff, I'll take a picture and then I send it to them. And they're very good at making things right. So I can keep you posted on that project. So now let's talk about changing up a current scene and then possibly making a whole new scene. So we've got, I've got an idea for this one, but I'll just set it aside for now. So let's talk our mountain scene here. So I decided to remove these two pieces because if it's winter and it's snowy, you wouldn't be seeing the grass. The green trees are okay. So technically you could just kind of cover this up, but rather than that, because this way I can reuse these, I don't want to just turn them permanently into winter. Where's my, I'm not seeing all my pieces and parts. Oh, it's way on the other side. One moment, please. I can't reach it. I put my computer in front of it. Okay. So I was trying to think, okay, what kind of trees? We've got tons and tons of options for trees, even currently right now. We've got, I'm just gonna move some of this stuff so I have more room to show you things. Let me find, what were my, so we've got, I think we've got the In the Grove trees. We've got this, hang on, I'm thinking of if I have it out. Okay, so I was looking at the In the Grove because you can add the grasses and the mountains and the trees. So there are some tree options, but I didn't want the grasses because it'd be covered in the winter. So same with this. This is more summery, but keep these in mind for other scenery, or you could use like the deer. There's so many options that you could do. There is the older mountain air where you've got trees and you've got some cutout trees and stamps. You could use that. They're a little bit large, although these mountains are quite large, so you could try and use that. There's also, which I think this one is current. I'm pretty sure this is current. The Forever Forest. Maybe it's retired. And it even has some mountains. But you could stamp some of these trees, obviously on a separate piece of paper. Where's my paper? So at first I took a regular card size piece of paper. You'll see on the one that I pre-made to test it out. And then I realized that you want a 6x6 or a 6 by something. And then you can work with, you could do trees or stamps. But then I remembered that we have, and it's current, we have this Fragrant Forest background stamp. And I thought, how perfect is this? Because you've got some trees going this way, some trees going this way. Obviously, these ones are cut off, but between these two, you can make two fitting just like this. So that is what I set out to do. So I've got my good old Stamparatus here, and I haven't been able to, apparently they do make grip mats that are 6x6 that would fit in here, but I haven't got my hands on one. So I stole the one that I had in my Misty and I put it here. It doesn't fit, it hangs off the edge, but hey, it'll do. We'll make it work. Can always make it work. Okay, then, so I've got my background stuff. I like to use a positioning tool for my background stamps, just because if it doesn't stamp fully the first time, you can restamp it, but also I wanted to stamp it and then put a layer of powder on for heat embossing. So this way I'm guaranteed that it's in the same spot, especially with having the grip mat. You can use the magnets. I never found the magnets held my stuff, or especially with the background stamp, they got in the way. If your cardstock was the size of a card and you went to put your magnet down, then it's in the way of the stamp. So the grip mat is awesome. This one is by Waffle Flower. I hope Stampin' Up! Comes out with one, but for now, gotta find them elsewhere. Okay, so like I said, I'm hoping this is gonna work because I have to rethink things, because before I did it on a regular, a 4 1/4 by 5.5 piece, and then I added a piece to make it work, but now I don't see, I can't get far enough over. I wondered if that was gonna be an issue. So what we wanna do is we want to make sure that this feels dirty. We want to have our stamp all the way over. We have powder all over this from embossing. Okay. So if I stick my, I'm going to put it against the edge, and then I'm going to line it up to that line, and then I'm going to reposition this so that we are, where do we want to be? So this one we want on this edge, and then that one we're going to want, but that's okay because we can move that. So there's a little bit of a lip, so we want to make sure we bring that over a bit and down like so, I think is what we want here. Okay, and then I was gonna say if you're really smart, apparently I was not very smart. If you cut a piece of acetate or have I just happen to have a piece of plastic here. This is a great way to know without wrecking your paper if you're in the right place. So I'm sticking it down to my grip mat, and then I'm going to ink it up. And I'm mostly interested in this bottom part. I just want to see that it's landing where I'm hoping it's going to land. So you can see I'm off the edge, which is good. I'm a little too high and crooked on this part. So I think what I'm going to do is, rather than move the messy stamp, I'm just going to, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to move up, right, my paper. And then I can wash that off. But I'm just going to move my paper up so that it's maybe above that grid line there. And then if I put this back where it started, you can see it's still a little bit off. Maybe I want to turn it so it needs to go down. You can see how the stamp kind of goes up on the, that's the one thing. It's too bad. Maybe I should, I guess if I cut it, but it's too bad that there's that lip that isn't quite. So there, that looks a bit more straight. Then That's better. Okay, so we're gonna line it up on this dotted line and against the corner. And that should do the trick. I'm gonna set this aside so I don't make a mess. Clean that off later. So if you have a piece of acetate, you can just use it to position things and then clean it and reuse it again whenever you need. Now, I only need this bottom part for the one part, but it doesn't matter if this part prints or else I only need this. Oh, no, I don't. If I'm doing the middle part, I need to cover this bottom part, which I pre-cut. But now, oh, I needed my pre-printed. Hang on, I shouldn't have taken off my plastic. I almost need a new piece of plastic. Okay, so if that's there, I'm going to stick this in here like so. You could use masking paper. It would stick better, but since I'm just using this apparatus, I'm not too worried. So now if I ink all of this up, it's okay if I get green up here because I'm cutting it off, but I don't want the trees down here. So I'm going to ink up these middle trees specifically. And then, is that right? Hopefully it's right. We'll find out. You can always turn the paper over. Okay, so I've got those trees. And then if I lift this up, there's no trees, which is perfect. So that's one piece. Oh, I almost, why did I take this off? Oh my gosh, my brains aren't working today. Okay, sorry, I have to line this up again. I didn't get enough sleep last night. It's our anniversary today, and my husband decided he wanted to make a card at like, I don't know what time it was, but I was like ready for bed at probably like 10. I was like dying, and then he started, where's this? Where's that? How do I do this? How do I do that? So I helped him out. I kept telling him, ask the boys. But since I've moved craft rooms, things aren't where they used to be, and he had no clue. So anyways, it was like 12:30 before I think I got into bed, which is, for those of you who know me, that's like way too late for me. And I had to get up this morning because I hadn't finished prepping this, and I had to take our pup to the vet. She has been a very, I'm gonna use a high needs pup these days. She has something wrong with her kidneys, which we're still trying to figure out. She did have an infection, so we're hoping that it was just that, but her numbers weren't quite up yet. And then she started stumbling on the weekend, and she wasn't able to jump in and out of the car, which has never been a problem. Like, it was kind of overnight. So anyways, back to the vet I went on Monday. Then she had a chiro appointment today, but she didn't have to get adjusted for the first time in a couple months. So that was good, but she's on anti-inflammatories, so maybe that's helping. Either way, I had to get up. That whole story was just to say I had to get up and I couldn't sleep in. And so I'm running on, I don't know, 6 hours of sleep, which is, I'm a 10 hours of sleep kind of gal. I cannot function with less. So I'm not functioning well. I tried to dry it a little bit. I didn't want to dry it too much, especially the heat on. I don't know what it does to the grip mat, but I don't want to wreck my grip mat. Then I'm just going to put lots of anti-static powder here. I'm not worried about this bottom part that I'm going to be removing anyways. And then I'm going to use the Versamark. It was a very, oh, did he send you a picture of his card? He was very proud of it. It did turn out very well. He went off of a picture, which, because he said, oh, I'm trying to get inspired. And I'm like, dude, you don't craft enough to just get inspired by seeing something. Take a picture. And he had already thought of a picture, or he'd already pulled off some pictures. So he just kind of, and I helped him find. And it did turn out very nice. For me, it's about the note inside. It's not necessarily the card, but I love it. I always tell the boys that I want a card for my birthday or Christmas, or I don't care if I get a present. I just want a card and a nice note. That's my go-to. Okay, I'm going to now move this. I might have to skip this. I'll show you the finished pieces instead of doing the next piece, because by the time I fussy cut and everything, you guys will be bored out of your minds. So now I'm pulling this piece off. Right? I Versamarked it. Yes. Okay. Oh my gosh. I really am not functioning. Okay. Then I've got, so this powder is no longer. I love this powder for Christmas. Oh, why do I not have any Versamark on here? That is very strange. It didn't. Aww. I could go back and redo it because I know kind of where it was, but well, it is what it is. Some of it will be shiny and some of it won't be. One sec. Let's move this over. Okay, I'm just going to put this in here so my stamp doesn't stick. And then I'll move this out of the way. So I was trying to say that this is retired powder. It is called Iridescent Ice. So if you are like me and have a collection of all the embossing powders from over the years, I've got colors. I wish it was color. What they had, what do you call it? Scratch and sniff powders a couple times. So I've got like, I think one's cherry and one's peppermint or something. Like they're fun. But I thought about doing it on a video, but it's like, there's no scratch and sniff screens. Maybe that'll be next on phones where you can smell. Like people who do YouTubes for baking and stuff, maybe they'll, it's almost like I burnt it a little here, but that adds to the, so to me, I was trying to make it look a little bit snow covered. It still has the clearness through, so you can still see the green, but it didn't cover, I don't know. I don't know what I'm thinking. I'm telling you, my brain is not working. Okay, so pretend that the ice, you could use white embossing powder, or you could use like the Pearl Effects and put it onto the stamp and stamp it on top. So it gets like a little bit of white, but I find with the white behind the tree, I mean, it's nice when your trees are snow covered, but I'll show you the ones that they were too small, but I jimmied. So that's this one. So all I did was I fussy cut around the treetops, and then you can, I added a seam to make it no snow there. Well, there's snow on the ground. There's just no snow left. Somebody shook the trees, but it kind of looks like there's snow, a little bit of snow in the trees. These trees just, the stamp isn't, we do have a couple of trees that are more, have the snow or ability to look snow covered with a stamp. If you stamp it in white or something. And then, so what I did was I stamped then a second piece again. So this bottom part, right? And then you cut out the bottom. So same thing again, where I've got, and this one, it was funny because this one, the Versamark didn't, like, to me, it just stuck. I don't know if I can get it to shine. I can't get it to, can't see it. There we go. It looks like it's like fully covered, but it only stuck to the trees. It wasn't sticking anywhere else. But anyways, they are like fully covered, shiny, glittery trees. They kind of look snowy, not too much. I could come back with like a dauber or something, but then all I did was off of here, I just cut. You could use a die or whatever if you don't want a fussy cut. And then this part doesn't matter because it's flat at the bottom, right? The way it stamps, but it's being hidden behind this hill. And then you can cut it as short or as tall, you know. So this one would have had probably about, actually would have had less. I probably wanted to stamp it higher. So it's a good thing I'm not using this. Anyways, so here are my trees, and then if I pull out my mountains, so reminder, we've got summer. It's shiny like when the sun hits the snow and it sparkles. And then you've got winter. So to me, that just looks a little bit more wintry. And it's funny because I saw this and I was like, oh, ooh, I wonder, I know I have an old stamp set that had like a ski lift. There's the gondola from last year, but that's too big for this. But there was one and it was very hand drawn and it didn't have a die, but I think I could fussy, I don't know. But I thought, oh, I could put a ski lift. I could put, so anyways, all these ideas came flooding in, but like this just looks like snow. You could put a deer, you could put like a bunny, you could put like some kind of snow animals. We also had that Yeti. The one year you could have a Yeti in the background or something. But yeah, I think it's pretty just like this with the snow. And then come spring, I can, you know, when everything's dead here, rather than having dead stuff, and I haven't put dimensionals on the back. So obviously, you'd probably want to put dimensionals just to give it that little bit of extra oof. But come spring, I would just change it out. And now it's springtime. So that's a really, I say it's a really simple way. The getting to that part wasn't simple, but it's just two simple sets of trees to make it look more wintry. Okay, so there's that. Then when I saw this one, all I could think of, and I'm pretty sure it's retired as of last annual catalog, but it was greatly discounted, and it might still, it was in the clearance rack forever, the dies anyways, not the stamp set. But when I saw this, all I could think of was this waterfall canyon set. It is the coolest set. I'm pretty sure I did a video. I made a couple cards with this. It has all the pieces and parts to do the sides of the waterfall with the rocks and, you know, rocks at the base and leaves and just every little piece and part you could ever want. So I was picturing keeping probably to here, and then doing a waterfall background. So rather than taking these two pieces out, I was going to keep these two pieces and then make 3 other pieces using this waterfall set. Could you imagine? Like, look at that. Just the waterfall coming down. And just having fun making something with that. Like, I think it takes patience and imagination and coloring and probably some trial and error. I'm going to try and make this one and post it. This is not a wintry one, but I saw this like kind of river rapids, and I was just thinking that screams waterfall. So anyways, I'm going to try and add a waterfall to this one. That's my goal there. And then I just wanted to show you a few other sets that you might have in your stash that you could make other ones to add to your collection of, if you get this, or if you just have frames, shadow frames that you want to do. But you know, I just found the kit just kind of inspired more. More and more and more. Okay, so I've got the ocean front. Actually, this is on the horizon, and these are the horizon dies. So it does have mountains, it has hills, it has the cute fencing. Not for you. You don't want to try? I just think, and then it's got some little houses and some trees. So this is one, I think it doesn't have a lot for the stamps here. I mean, you could add, but I thought the ocean front pairs really well with these dies, and you could have the fencing and stuff. So I thought that would be a fun one to do, but again, not very wintry. And then I remember we have, this was maybe 2 years ago, the Greatest Journey dies and the Greatest Journey. So it has the trees and some flowers, but it has like a tent and a runner and a biker. And I just thought you could do some cool layers with, again, maybe with using the mountains from the kit. I really like these mountains because they're nice and big. So then you can add some bigger items. And then another one is this garden meadow. So if you like to garden, Linda, the other Linda, this would be up your alley. You could do, and there's that the storybook suite that has all those little garden pieces. I don't know if you noticed it. That would be super cute. But I thought like the window in the background, and it's got the grasses and it's got all your little gardening stuff. You could make some layers, and then again with the fence and the gate. My mind is just like, as tired as it is, the creative juices are just like, and then I could do this, and then it's going in squirrel mode. So then we have that Forever Forest, like I mentioned, but that would be similar to, and then we also have, so an even older one, which is similar, is the Mountain Air, just slightly bigger trees, and you've got the background tree die. So if you're not into fussy cutting, you could always use that. What else? Oh, and then we had the Grassy Grove and In the Grove, which are totally perfect. But these ones are meant more to have the larger piece in the front, like either the aspen birch trees or these leafy trees, and then kind of stepped back. But same kind of idea. You could do it. I don't think you would have a bit of a frame because it's not 6x6, but you could probably do like 5x5 and have a frame around, a second frame around it. So those are 2 more. I was thinking even like a sky with, this is I think the most recent hot air balloon one, but I mean, we've had many over the years and some are smaller. I think we even had a punch that was a hot air balloon. So you could do like, actually, there's a new, in one of the new suites on the online exclusives, there's some 6x6 paper and it is all sky scenes. And I feel like we have the clouds. There is another sky, but even some of our papers that have like the mountains or has like they have some kind of landscape backgrounds, you could totally use those as your background start and then build your layers from there. So hot air balloon would be a fun one. Again, summery. So then I started thinking Christmassy, and I remembered that we had this, the Christmas barn. I think that would be super fun with the horse and the fence. Like, and so you've got the big barn, which could be further back, and then you've got your layers that you could kind of build on that and have like a ice rink pond on part of it. So I would love to do that one. I want to do them all. And then here's the gondola that I was talking about that's too big for my scene. But if you built a scene around a gondola, you could probably make it work. Like if you didn't have, I feel like maybe if you just had the mountains, so minus the trees, so they didn't give you that, like these could be super far off. And then this is closer, so it's bigger. I'm not sure. But I think that would be cool if you could make a scene work with a gondola. And then the last one I was thinking also, similar to the barn, is the peaceful cabin. And this one actually lends itself perfectly for the layers because it has all the layers cut for you. Like this is like instant. So grab a background paper and then all you have to do is do your cabin. There's a little one with the little fox. There's the trees. So you would have all your different layers basically already set and they cut for you. So I'm for sure going to do one with this peaceful cabin. I'm going to try and do 4 wintry ones that I can put out for now. And then I'll probably put these ones up more in the spring. But this one I'm going to try and add a waterfall. See if, I mean, it wouldn't be better. Like this is beautiful. This actually reminds me of what we see when we drive out to lake every year. But I just think the waterfall would be cool. So I want to try. Anyways, that sounds like I have lots of playing to do and I have lots of other things. What's a good match, Marcy? I just saw you're here. The cabin. It's like, it's perfect for this kind of thing. Anyways, maybe I should do, would you guys be interested in a class? Oh, but that would be hard because we'd have to have the stuff. I have to think. I'm going to try and make one from scratch and see how crazy hard it is. The cabin with the paper. Yeah, I think this would be pretty easy to do without an enormous amount of work because it's already, like you've got all the stamps, you've got all the cutouts for like ready-made. It's just figuring out kind of the heights and the like where on the layers, but I think this one will probably be the easy. It would be a good one to start with anyways, and then then build from there. Anyways, that is what I have for you today. I probably won't have my new stuff next week since I haven't ordered it yet and I don't want to express it. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do next week. Hopefully I can do a live next week. We're going away for a couple days. but I'll try and put something together for next week. So I think it's Black Friday this weekend. So does that mean it's Thanksgiving in the US? I think it's Thanksgiving in the US now that I think about it. So Linda, I don't know if you're making a turkey or if you're having a big Thanksgiving dinner with friends. But hopefully you'll have a good long weekend. I think it's a long weekend. Is it a long weekend there? I assume Black Friday. What am I getting out of the new stuff? Oh, I'm still waffling. I'm trying to get things down, but we'll have to maybe we can have a phone call and talk about what to get. But yeah, because I can't show the stuff. You're having dinner out tomorrow. Oh, nice. Don't even have to cook. It's kind of where what I'm thinking for Christmas. No actual cooking, but no, I have dinner planned for Christmas. I made a beef Wellington last year for just our family, I think, because there was only the 5 of us, and maybe there were 6 or 7, but either way, it was a smaller group, and I decided I'd made mushroom Wellingtons before, like vegan style Wellingtons in the past as a option for those who didn't want meat when we had like turkey and whatever for Christmas, and I really like it, but I wanted to try my hand at a beef Wellington, and it was because we'd been in Scotland last November, and the boys loved, like, beef Wellington is like the thing to have there, and they fell in love with it. And then so I made it for Christmas, and now I've been requested to, that's supposed to be our new Christmas thing. Of course, not cheap these days, but if it's just a small group of us, I'm like, okay, that'll be our Christmas dinner. Anyways, I'm getting hungry talking about Christmas dinner. Marcy, what are you making? You're having your first Christmas in your house. I'd love to know what you're making for Christmas if you've already planned it. Of course, there's a delay, so if you're typing, it'll be delayed. Hey, what are you doing? You must be at work. I just realized that. Maybe you've gone back to work. Maybe you just snuck on. Okay, anyways, have a great weekend. Hopefully I'll be here next Wednesday. I'll post menu still under negotiation. Yeah, let me know at our, oh, that's right. I've got 2 of the club stuff cut. I've got 1 more thing to cut. I think I'm gonna have to purelator yours, Marcy, again with this lovely strike. And Linda, you need, is anyone coming to Arizona from here before the 19th of December? Let me know, and maybe I can send it with them. Otherwise, we'll have to figure out a way to get it to you. And then as I can hand deliver. But yeah. Oh, this whole mail strike is making it hard to do this online stuff. Anyways, I did notice that there's... Anyways, have a great weekend. Have a great rest of your week. And hopefully we'll see you next week. Bye.